Well, we've come to a bottleneck in the river here. Just went for a quick explore over this way, and the river comes in from up this way and down through this way, but it doesn't join in the middle. So we've got ourselves a big rocky outcrop. So I'm now just trying to work out where can I set up a tent. I'm thinking just here we could get a tent in. It's a matter of can we put a tarp up and so forth. I also want to have a look up on the rocky escarpment here. The little bird is up there. Probably can't see it in the GoPro. Just to see if there's any sand up there as well and somewhere to pitch a tent. Looking at somewhere where we can catch a breeze. There are fish here. There's something just flipping around in the water there, and there's a dead fish carcass here as well. We'll have a look around, see if we can sort out a camp. If not, we might have to go back in and up and around and find a flatter beach again. But a very unusual landscape. Haven't seen rock formations like this before, I must admit, up here in Queensland. So let's go for a bit of an explore. Well, doesn't look like we're going to be able to set a tent up here. Way too rocky. You can see the licks of water coming in here, and it just pans out to dry pan. There's another one comes up on the very far side. It stops about there as well. So there's no natural water course going through here. And this one, as you can see, peters out down there. There's the canoe just down here. So unfortunately we're landlocked from going any further other than portaging, which I'm really not interested in doing in 29-degree heat. So not sure what to do at this stage. We'll have a bit of a think about it. Well, I'm not liking this. The water down here is quite brackish. Not the sort of place I want to camp next to. That's not the sort of water I would draw out and use. And I think it's going to get a bit smelly once the wind drops off as well. So I'll head back upriver, back to where I came in. If push comes to shove, I can always camp at the boat ramp where I put in as well. That's always an option. But I think I might head back upstream again, back towards where I put in, as I said. See if I can find another spot. Whilst it's nice to camp on the sand, as I said, the water here unfortunately is not very nice. And there's nowhere really to string a tuck between these old dry twigs and so forth. Lots of firewood, which is great, but yeah, not the best camping. Might head back upstream, see how we get on up there. One thing I will say for this river, there is an extraordinary amount of bird life around. It's obviously very shallow through here. There are literally hundreds of cormorants, ducks, there's a swan in front of me, spoonbill, cranes, a whole range of bird life, chasing bait and fish in here. And I suggest, going by all the twigs around me and little trees and so forth, that it might only be 1 metre or 2 metres deep here, which obviously makes for very good fishing for birds. So very nice place to paddle though, I have to say. Really do love paddling on a river where there's lots of bird life. Really makes it very special. As you can see on this side of the river, there's a whole lot of dead timber here from when the river has obviously been dammed many years ago. You can also see the trees go up right the bank here are also dead, which means the river's normally a lot higher than this. I would suggest with our dry winter that it has dried out a lot. It looks like it's gone down a good metre and a half. You can see points where there is sand and so forth. You can actually see the points in the sand, the lines in the sand where the river's actually gone down over a matter of weeks and months. So this side of the river's not looking real good at the moment. We'll cross over to the other side as we get out of this rocky reef area, see what we can find. Well, it's a lot calmer here underneath the big block up in front of me. It's just a matter of finding, as I said, a flat spot and somewhere we can put a tarp up. It's going to be quite a warm afternoon and tomorrow as well, so I really want some shade. I'm just edging along here in about 6 inches of water. Let's see what we can find. Well, this is not what I would call a nice camping spot. Not at all. It is terrible. I think we head back up that river and keep looking. Well, that bank was a no-go. Just heading cross river now to the other side. You can see lines in the mud, unfortunately. So it doesn't look like we may be able to find anything here either, but you just never know your luck. Let's go for a wander along this bank. We'll stay in the canoe though, see if we can find a flat spot that's going to work for us. As always, don't need much room, really don't. But a couple of handy trees I could string a tarp between would make all the difference. So really nice to have a river to yourself again though. Just me and the bird life. So even in the mud here you can see the different lines of the levels of the river as it's gone down over the last 6 months, 12 months. Really has dropped quite a bit. And all those steps you see on the side are mud. Fortunately not beautiful sand, so there are sandy parts but they're pretty rare. Still, very pretty part of the world. Well, unfortunately, this is another option dashed. I was hoping this green patch along the side here was going to be a nice flat bank tucked into the cliff, but unfortunately, it's just steep mud. Nowhere to perch even a small tent. Not too far out of the campground again. It might be a campground camp tonight at this stage. We'll keep looking, but it's not looking good. There's not too many flat areas, very steep riverbanks. And where it is flat enough, it's just mud and rock. But we'll keep searching. Cheers, guys. Well, the whole afternoon went pear-shaped. Ended up coming right round past the camp, found this tiny little bit of sand here on the corner on the spit to camp. By the time I've got here, got myself set up and so forth, the sun's just about gone down. So got an onshore wind here blowing up against the bank. So it looks like it might be just a quick dinner tonight and off to bed. And then I'm going to get up in the morning nice and early and we'll head up the river here, see if we can't catch some fish for lunch for tomorrow. Back out on the water this morning. Beautiful conditions. Just the slightest breeze. Crows woke me up nice and early, which is great. So time to have a nice coffee and relax around camp a little bit, pack a little bit of stuff up. And we're out on the water fishing. Just heading down to a tree line here to cast a few lures around, down around the corner. Try and get away from this campground. There's about a couple of kilometres behind me. We are on already. Something sizable too. Hopefully not a catfish. Right, catfish in this system. Whoa. The way that's fighting, it doesn't feel like a catfish. Catfish is a little bit slower usually. Whatever it is, it's putting up a very good fight. Come on. No, big fat catfish. Let's have a look at him. Not the target species. Unfortunately. Yes, nice big oily greasy gutfish. Not what we're after at all. Well, we're catching fish, that's something. I must admit, I thought the catfish were a far more docile fish when catching them on a line. That's the first one for me. I actually fought really good. More like a Murray cod, in fact. A lot slower, less head shaking and so forth. But a very strong fish, which was nice. Let's see what we got this time. Hopefully not a catfish. Another one. Smaller one. Come on, little fella. Little tiny guy. Change of plan. We'll head over to the other bank. It's got more of a rock face. See if there's any bass hunting around the rocks. Last thing I want to be doing is pulling in catfish all day. Now I'm sure there's a few Americans down south of America, down around the Mississippi and so forth, are saying you should be taking that catfish home, brother. Cooking it up. I have no idea any recipes for catfish. So, if you know a good recipe for catfish and you think they're worth eating, put a comment down below. I'd love to hear about it. Don't like throwing fish away, that's for sure. I did get a lovely comment once when I caught a carp at a Lake Wyaralong. And the guy said, oh, look mate, over where we come here in Europe, we eat those things, they're beautiful. So I never even thought to eat it. I just threw it away, killed it, put it up in the bank, buried it, but never actually thought about eating it. And it turns out they are very good eating. So if you guys have got a recipe for catfish, let me know all about it. Well, on the other side, we've got another one. Hopefully not a catfish. Certainly not pulling like a bass. Yeah, I think it might be a catfish. Bit of a nuisance, these things, I have to say. You see it slowly dragging back out, and it comes up and it slowly goes back down. Maybe this is why there's no fishermen here. Just all catfish. Yep, catfish. Okay. What to do, what to do, what to do. Yeah, just a pain in the bum, these guys. What to do, what to do, what to do. There was an inlet further up past the campground. I might head up there actually, go into that inlet, trees and so forth. It's a very muddy river, so it doesn't surprise me that there's catfish in here. But yeah, as I said, it's not the target species, that's all. Well, no joy in that little creek. It was unfortunately very, very shallow, even with the surface lure. Just tickled in around a few of the trees and so forth, but couldn't see anything rising under the water. And as I said, I think it's just too shallow, unfortunately, and very, very muddy. It's a very muddy river. A couple of other spots I'm going to try. We'll head back towards camp. A couple more rock faces, other little inlets. We'll have a bit of a sneak around there. Just never know your luck. Well, I've got one more place to try. The wind's just picking up, and the temperature today is going to be 31 degrees Celsius. So 35 km/h winds and that sort of temperature. It's no use hanging around to catch catfish, but we will try this one spot and see how we get on here against a rock wall. I'm hoping that might be bass hanging up against a rock wall, but I don't hold out my luck too much. All I'm seeing is catfish so far. This is what I would normally call prime bass territory. Lots of trees submerged, nice rock wall, plenty of cover. It's going to be bass. I'm thinking it's going to be here. Well, I think we might call it a day. Unfortunately, as I said, the temperature's about to crank up this afternoon, and the wind's just starting to pick up now, so no use hanging around flogging yourself on a river if you're only going to catch catfish. So we'll wrap the video up here. Thank you for watching this video. It was great to get back out again. It's been 3 months away from camping. I decided to take off August, but it ended up being September and October due to some illnesses in the family, but they've all come good and we're back out again. So great to get out to a proper camp. Unfortunately no campfire, but that's all right next time. But very, very enjoyable. I look forward to seeing you all in a fortnight's time. Bye for now.